Well, ladies and gentlemen, with the triumphant music, we are, of course, back in World War II with Call of Duty 3. Now, I never actually played this game all that much. I played like the first 4 missions, and that was it. And back when it came out, way back in 2006, I didn't even have an Xbox 360, so, yeah. This is one of those early games for this particular system. Now, what's kind of interesting, though, is, 2006, I think the Xbox 360 had been out for like a year, and the Xbox 360 lasted a very long time. Let's get rid of that mouse cursor. Or try to get rid of it, at least. The Xbox 360 had a long shelf life. I think it lasted until like 2015, which is a ridiculous amount of time for a console. Alright, so let's get stuck in. I don't know why this was never released on PC, though. I mean, it's kind of fallen into obscurity now, since it's kind of hard to play unless, like, you have a console. Oh, well, you can only have one save game. I did not know that. Ah, well. Override current progress. So let's make it normal.
June 4th, 1940. Nazi forces enter Paris. Within 10 days, they control the entire city. By June 13th, 1940, the Parisians have evacuated, with the Nazis enforcing a curfew on its few remaining native inhabitants. The former City of Light waits for the Allies to arrive and lift the shadow that has fallen over Paris. However, the heroism of D-Day will have been for nothing if the Allies cannot hold the land beyond the beaches of Normandy.
So I think it's safe to say that social media was a mistake.
Let's see you do better, Huxley.
Oh yes, we must.
Hey, what's your name? Nichols, right? Come get your gun. I got $5 says you can't hit 4 in a row.
Yes, because we would have basic training when we get to the actual front, because that makes... Actually, I think there's some of that in real life.
There you go.
Oh, see, like, in 2006, this would actually look pretty good. In fact, it still looks kind of good now, really. It's kind of crazy how well this has, aged. Now, of course, then again, in real life, this is not exactly, a sizable distance. The M1...
Did you see that? Hey, Nichols, keep watch for me. I'm gonna bag you a few of these. Oh.
Yes, because you were just going to let this guy, who is clearly untrained, just chuck grenades where it could potentially kill somebody, but whatever.
That old bond there. You wanna try cooking one off?
No, I don't want to try cooking one off. I want to try to have somebody who's actually competent. That would have killed all of us, but whatever. And I think Nichols is not... It needs to, like...
Supposed to throw the grenade, not the pin.
Wow, Nichols, you're kind of weak. I'm just saying. I'm like, you know, he's like visibly grunting here. Those things don't weigh that much. I think I gotta move or something, because it shouldn't really be bouncing off of that. It's like, Nichols, man, you know... Are you okay? Good arm!
Come on, Nichols. Let's see you use a smoke grenade.
Oh yeah, let's chuck a smoke grenade, because that's totally won't mark our position, but whatever. Who cares?
Nice one, Nichols. Damn, Dixon's looking right at
And
us.
hello, everyone.
All right, Nichols.
Oh, Treyarch was
Roll
console.
legendary.
Ugh.
Hey, Dix, this one's
Although
a
then why did
full
Treyarch
console.
make the Spider-Man game for PC then?
Position, okay?
Direct Deluxe video. German general who refused to shell Paris to the ground.
Gather up weapons and ammo and get on that truck. Move!
You know, Jeeps are remarkably small in real life. I actually saw one at the Lexington Museum. Those things are tiny. Like the game makes them look a bit bigger than they should be. Or
Iron helmets too. What do you say we go find them? Gather up weapons and ammo and get on that truck. Move!
oh, relax. Seriously, dude. I'll get over there when I'm damn well ready. Nichols is a traitor! Can actually explore the camp.
From that crate in the supply tent. The supply sergeant likes to nail everything shut.
I don't think that would actually work, dude. Just bashing it with the whatever. Oh my god.
Everyone on the truck,
Okay,
let's go.
do you realize how heavy this would be? The M1 Garand right here, especially when you carry 120 rounds for this bloody thing. The M1 Garand weighs about 8 pounds, I believe. The Thompson weighs 12. Nichols must be straying. Think about the license of the corp. And yeah, it does give you a nice view.
You're no good to me dead. Rule 2. What difference does it make? You'll all probably end up dead anyway.
Well, that was sure inspiring.
You want inspiration, Huxley? Read a poem. Sarge is 10 times the soldier you'll ever be.
Also, Huxley, you might want to have a helmet on. I don't think your beanie... It might make you look hip.
To get coffee and donuts. Problem is, the Germans drank all the coffee and ate all the donuts.
Of course, joke's on them. The coffee was terrible and the donuts were poison.
Or we could just stay back at the base and eat those nice French rolls.
Bruce Wayne, oh my god. I loved you in the Batman.
Task Force C. We're coming in from the west flank.
Damn, 2006 was a long time
Remember
ago.
rule number 1.
Oh, man, I love that smell. Smells like home.
Ah, burning corpses. Also, it looks like, Nichols is kind of short. Look how much taller everyone is.
I thought we had this area.
It's been like this for weeks.
Hey, wait up!
You got it, Bueller.
Slow down!
Bueller.
Come on, you can make it.
Seriously, just sprint. And then he gets blown up. That's the problem with riding around in a thin-skinned vehicle. And I've never heard of Broken Helix. Now, I think this is the part that showed up in, like, the old Xbox 360 demo disc. Because I have a vague recollection of this part here. Oh, this would start something where just about every game from this time period had the main character get knocked out and have to be dragged somewhere.
I see y'all wanted back in Martinville.
Martinville. And I love shouting medic at this time, too.
Santorez.
End of discussion, Private. Fix it. Take Huxley and backstop our armor. The rest of you, including you, are with me. Over the top. Move up.
I'm not sure that's a good idea, sir. I mean, aren't we gonna, like, get shot to pieces? For a second, I thought he got shot with an arrow. There's probably a better way to do that, but whatever. Yeah, this was definitely on the Xbox 360 demo disc. Because I very much remember that. Okay, so let's put all this in perspective real quick. Okay, imagine this is 2006. You got one of those newfangled Xbox 360 machines, and you got this. Look at all of these. This is really impressive, even by today's standards. I mean, Call of Duty World War II is pretty crap, from what I've heard. I've never got that thing to work. And honestly, it's one of those games that I have no interest in trying to make work. But this actually is pretty neat. I'm surprised it's as good as it is. Like, I remember this, but I don't remember it being this impressive. Now imagine you've got a tube TV still. Because I actually didn't get one of those newfangled HD televisions until 2012. And I was pretty happy to have that too. Now, from what I recall, the Xbox could not actually run these games at like 1080 or even 720. Like, they had to upscale from like 1200 by 768 or something like that. Now, one of the reasons why I like to say that social media was a mistake is I don't think anybody really complained. Well, I'm getting blasted. Yep, dead. I probably should have paid attention. I blame the chat. One of the last Call of Duties when they went mainstream. Yep, because COD 4 was not at all like this. Oh, this was on the PS2. All-time favorite first-person shooter. Now that's a hard question to answer because there's so many first-person shooters. I don't really know. I mean, I'd probably say Doom, the original, just because I played that one more than anything else. But then I could just as easily say, you know, like, oh crap! Now that would God damn it. Still, I don't know if I'd consider Stalker a first-person shooter. I mean, that's more of an RPG kind of thing, which I honestly didn't really like. Let's see. What was the type of CRT you had before switching to? It was a 20-inch RCA TV. It was called the True Flat, or something like. It wasn't actually a flat screen, but like, it didn't have that oval shape that other TVs at the time did. I had that thing until 2012. I remember first getting it back in 2003. Because the first ever show I watched on that was Battlestar Galactica, the reimagined version. Battlestar Galactica is an interesting thing, because just recently I picked up a Lego, well, it's not really a Lego, but it's a knockoff Lego version of the original 1978 Galactica. The modern day Galactica looks pretty good, but it looks too organic for my taste. Whereas the original looked, you know, like an actual ship. But the thing about it, though, is the reimagined Battlestar Galactica isn't bad, but, oh crap, I'm getting shot to shit again. Yep, I got shot back. I gotta actually pay attention. I'm just on normal. Because I'm not really paying that close attention. Voice chat. Oh, trying to have a backseat driver in a game, that's never fun. Just because it's like, you're trying to pay attention to what's going on in the actual game and somebody else and try to stream, yeah. It's one of those things where if I actually pay attention, I won't actually die so much. But yeah, BSG Reimagined. That is one of those shows that I don't think it stood the test of time nearly as well as the original. Just because it's one of those shows where it was trying to be dark for the sake of dark in many instances. And the ending ruined the entire show. Like, the ending was so bad. No matter how good that show was, well, the auto-aim on this thing is ridiculous. I love it. Kind of playing like Kotaku here, but I'll wake up eventually. But yeah, BSG, you know, the reimagined one had some good stuff going for it. The acting wasn't bad. That's the problem with all of you people dressing in green. Why can't you be, like, multicolored, man? Chuck grenade. My god, look at the lighting! It's beautiful! Yeah, these graphics look way, way better than I thought they would. Yeah, I'm probably gonna die again. It's the Attack of the Dead Men, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Crash into the church. Hello. Let's see. Who wants to take anything slow? Oh, the rest of the games in the series. I have not watched Picard Season 2. Because Picard is not really a show. It's more of like a torture. Because, oh my god. It's like, they've spent more time in the 21st century than they have in the, you know, future. And besides, the characters in Picard are awful. The stories are awful. I mean, like, I didn't even watch Picard Season 1. Just reading about it sounds like it's just absolutely abysmal. Alright, let's actually pay attention here and shoot somebody. I've got to actually play the game before I can rank it with the other games. Like, for me, COD 1 is still my favorite of all time. With COD 2 being my second favorite. So we'll see where this ranks up. Already, it actually is off to a really good start. And one thing I'm quite impressed by so far is just the fact that it actually has a plot other than just World War II. With actual characters. That's always one of the minor issues with World War II games is you've played one, you've played them all. Because it's like World War II, and it's kind of like a foregone conclusion of like who's gonna win. But I guess the thing is, like, which of your characters is actually going to survive to the end is where you can actually get some drama. One thing I think is pretty neat already is just the fact that this very first level actually has challenge. Like, I've died multiple times so far just trying to get to the church here. And that, you don't see that too much. The lighting, I'm just really impressed by. I mean, like, you wouldn't expect a game from 2016 or 2006 to look this good. I think Treyarch must have done a lot of good developer tricks to actually make it look as good as it does. I mean, my mind would have been blown. I actually picked the absolute worst. Oh my god, it's a tiger. It's like the one tiger in all of France. Oh, homewrecker. Oh my god. Okay, if that tank shell had hit anywhere near us, we'd have died badly. That's the one thing about games that's always just kind of funny. Like, the tank blasts are not nearly as bad as they are in real life. But, yeah, like, we now have proper historically accurate flags, but when we start the game up, we have that weird Iron Cross thing. Now, I don't know, but I doubt anyone really complained too much about that, unlike today, what with the social medias. It's like, oh my god, it's not historically accurate. Or they're saying it's like, historical accuracy is like evil or some shit like that. Oh my god. QTEs in a World War II game? Come on, Mike. Smack him. Okay, this is kind of neat, I gotta say. And those 3D models are not bad. Can I has the K98K? Oh wait, I do.
Bitch, good work. What's that tank doing just sitting there?
Taking cover if it's got any sense.
Guzzo, get down to that tank. Tell
Guzzo.
me what targets were. Why me? You're a radio op, aren't you? I'm not asking, Guzzo.
I mean, you could use the Vox for like, cover, right? Yeah, see, this is really, really... Actually, I'm not even going to say this is impressive. It's just fun. I mean, I'm surprised I'm enjoying this as much as I am. I would not just be sitting there nonchalantly like that. That seems, very unsafe. I guess I'm supposed to shoot that guy? I guess? You can definitely see the resolution's pretty low. I mean, look at that sign. Oh, I guess I gotta sit on the tank? Left stick to switch binoculars. Oh my god, it's like a PC! Okay, that's actually pretty neat too. I did not know that... Treyarch's pretty good. I mean, Treyarch is pretty impressive in that way. This is not the first time I played the game. It's the first time I've played it in about 4 or 5 years, and even then I never actually finished it. So it's like going back into it kind of blind. Let's see. Handled really well in the PS2 version. Oh god, the 6-axis motion control. Yeah, 2006 was right when all that motion control nonsense was still going on. I mean, the Wii motion control system wasn't that bad. Also, these guys should probably get some kind of cover. Just saying, because, like, that seems very dangerous. I should know it's dangerous because he just shot him in the head with a 30-06. But that's also why modern consoles have kind of moved away from the whole motion control gimmick. Because that's all it ever was a gimmick. I still don't think that VR is going to be that... VR is not there yet, in my opinion, because it just doesn't really add much. Because would VR make this that much better? Waggling a dongle would not make that any more fun. It's like, just let me click a button, please.
Nice shot. They ain't getting up.
I should hope not, unless it's Nazi zombie army. I'm really impressed by the 3D model here with the M1 Garand. I mean, look at all those little scratches and shit on there. You can actually read it? Actually, I thought that said Harrington and Richardson, which I didn't actually... Now, see, that is a Tiger. Oh, how they just completely missed us with that rocket. Wouldn't, like, the tank commander blow up that tank? I didn't actually shoot him! The Wii was a special case, though, with the motion controls. I mean, they work to a point, but I don't know if they really made the games any better. It's sort of like with VR, as I was saying earlier. It's like, does VR really make the games that much better? And is the so-called juice worth the squeeze? Just because it's like, let's think about it for a moment. You gotta have all this prep time just to play a goddamn game instead of just going into the game, picking up a controller, or, barring that, you know, using a controller or something like that. Now see, this is a really intense game so far. Like, I'm really enjoying this.
This place will be down around our ears. Fancy seeing you here, Sarge.
It's going to hell in a hacksaw out there. You run into much trouble?
Nah, but Jerry sure as hell did. This place will be rubble inside of 2 minutes. We can't stay here.
Wait. God damn it. Where's everybody? Sound off!
Ah, screw that. We have to fall back.
That one 3D model where he's trying to hold that Thompson, his hand just phased right through it.
Frank, put the gun down. Let's just all calm down here. You're not crazy enough to shoot me.
Desertion's a capital offense, Guzzo. Shooting you won't be crazy. It'll be the sanest thing I've ever done.
Frank, come on now.
God, we got ourselves a tunnel here.
That was convenient.
Looks like we got a way out.
All right, we're bugging out. Move! We'll continue this later.
I have a vague recollection of this scene from when I played this a few years ago. That right there really makes this go up a lot higher in my estimation, just because that's actual drama! And it's not just fight in battle, shoot German in face. So, like, I like legitimate drama like that, you know? It's a very simple scene. You don't need to have the camera zoom out. You don't have to have the music blare. It's like, that's actually legitimately intense without it overstating itself. That's one of the biggest problems with modern day media of, they want to be iconic, but by trying to be iconic, they fail at being iconic. There's also a lot of COD 2 vibes here where, like, you actually see what their rank is and what the... Ooh, shot in the face. What their rank is and what their actual position is in terms of, like, combat prowess. Oh, crap. Fucking grenade. You know, Medal of Honor lets you just poke your head up there without having to do it manually. How could you, COD? You're the chosen one. Also, I think his AI died. And these sights on the Thompson are absolutely awful. Kind of like real life. Thompson's probably a bit overstated for what it is. At least it's done correctly with it being an open bolt. Thompson's cool, but awful. No, this is actually being played on a legitimate Xbox 360, and I am using my capture card. I've been using the same capture card since 2012. These days, like, I've seen some of the modern day capture solutions from different consoles, where, like, it sends the files via Wi-Fi or some shit. It's like, why? That seems overly complicated. God damn it. Fucking grenades. Counting Panzer IVs. And that's why I don't play World of Tanks. Because, see, I've actually gotten laid in my life a lot. And so I don't have to live my life getting all the tank crap right. I mean, accuracy is good and all, but... seriously, you don't want to make tanks your religion. Well, unless you're the chieftain, but I think he's actually married. I'm just really impressed by the graphics in this. 2006 on a console, no less. Now, if only this thing had a red dot. Oh, wait. The M1 Garand sights are pretty good, though. For what they are. They're definitely good combat sights. Not so good for precision work, though. Come on, idiot. Stop getting in my way. Smashy, smashy. I guess I should start throwing some grenades, but, like, this guy has the weakest arm imaginable. Now, what's kind of funny about 2006 is the Sherman being bad myth was still going on back then. Mainly based on one book, which apparently... Oh, crap. Just run, just run. Yeah, like having to switch this with the K98K. I mean, the K98K ain't bad, but if people are shooting at you, you want something where you don't have to work a bolt. Just saying. 4 million M1 Garands? I think we know why we won the war. Oh wait, or is it the atomic bomb? Come on, reload, reload. Thank you, MacArthur, for not giving us detachable box of magazines. But Aquar fan, have you gotten laid? That's a better question. Game aware of my surroundings as possible. Kill one of that too. Brothers in Arms. I've only played like the first one for like 5 minutes. It's not bad. It's just I never really got into it. I think the only problem right here is it just seems like we've been constantly followed around by this squad, and it gets kind of. This gets a little boring, because I like to actually shoot more than 3 or 4 guys. And if we got blown up by a tank, we'd probably die. Just saying. At least from the overpressure. Hey, that's not a bad idea. And yeah, everything's been great. Badonkadon. Sherman Bad Author was a character in that alternate Battle of the Bulge. Thompson with the charging handle on the top. Let's see. And hello, Wise Dragon. This wasn't on the original Xbox. It was on the 360 and the PS3 and the PS2 of all things. Oh, I guess I'm supposed to go over here. I should actually be paying attention to the game. Man, see, that's one of those things. Like, this wood would not be helping us unless it was like some kind of stone wood or some shit. Because, like, if you actually look up what a bullet can do to, like, just wood, we'd all be dead. All of us. And technically, we're all dead now, probably, just because of old age, but whatever. And somehow William Shatner is still alive at 90 and going into space. Oh yeah, that is a Panzer IV. I see it now. It's got the long-barreled gun. Oh crap! Shit! And this is why. Oh crap! Actual challenge. This must be an old game. Just blast him. Smack him. We need a bayonet on our Thompsons. Japanese had the right idea. So, like, technically, we are now. Oh, crap. And those are the same voice clips from COD 2. At least that's what it looks like. Or sounds like. I see you there, you little bastard. You mean we survived the third wave? Yeah, William Shatner aged really well. Let's see. This was on the Wii too? I didn't know that. Let's see. I do have the first 2 Gears of War games, but I've never actually played them.
That's it.
I always mean to, but I never really get into it.
Guzzo, Radio Division. We've taken Saint-Lô.
Oh my god. This is the 360 version. It was released on the original Xbox? I did not know that. You know, there actually is a mod for Call of Duty 2 that does let you play as the Germans.
The liberation of Saint-Lô opens up
It's the Back to Fronts mod.
The American army pushes through to the southwest, while the British, Canadian, and Polish advance from the northeast. The German-controlled territory in the middle comes to be known as the Falaise Gap. The Gap sees some of the most ferocious fighting of the last Great War.
Guy sticks a gun in my face. You don't think that's enough to buy me a transfer out of this unit?
Have you thought about writing your congressman?
That's very friggin' funny.
Gear up. We're going to Saint Germain. The 90th is short-handed, so we're getting folded into their unit. Looks like your transfer request came through.
So we'll see how they follow up that plot line.
Rather be with those guys.
Where you can play as the finish. I think there might be a mod for that.
Quiet that up. Okay, on the signal, we're taking this hill. We gotta flank Jerry, because if we don't, the rest of the division
Straya.
will move through. So, that's it! Move, move, move!
So this is basically just the guitar solo for the Xbox 360. It's like, look at this new console, it's awesome! And it is. I'm gonna hide behind the boat and die. Unfortunately, hiding behind a boat just doesn't really save you. Probably should have stayed behind the tank. Just saying. Although I'm not sure if there were any Stewart tanks at this point. So, like, you know, instead of charging into the open, perhaps hiding behind the tank that's bulletproof might be a better idea. Wait, I got a BAR? Sweet. There's a book I just finished reading where John Moses Browning was a wizard. Well, even more so than he already was. And actually made a bullpup BAR. Which sounds really awesome, actually. I keep thinking you can sprint in this game, but you can't. Like, you'd think you could. But you can just keep smacking the left joystick. Nothing happens. Halo Infinite is so disappointing. Yeah, Halo Infinite is not that great, at least in terms of the campaign. I've not played the multiplayer because I don't really care about Halo multiplayer and haven't since 2012. So, but yeah, I mean, like, Halo Infinite, the plot line is, they're trying to be like Marvel and have like a Thanos-styled villain. He even has a facial structure similar. And, you know, I do not like the wimpy Pelican pilot. It's like, why do we have this guy? Why is he talking back to Master Chef? It's like, what the hell? Okay, all I've got is the BAR. Come on, you idiots, let me... Goddamn invisible wall. Yeah, we put Nichols and his squad are 29th Infantry. M5 swords phased out by the Chaffee. Brian Bloom, huh? I did not recognize that. I think I can already tell that there is a minor issue with this game in that there's a lot of downtime between the actual gameplay and the cutscenes. It's not as bad as, I guess, what would happen in like the more modern CODs. Well, I haven't played a COD game since COD 3, Modern Warfare 3, I should say. BAR is very heavy, but despite all the complaints about it in the modern era, we still use the BAR to this day. Except it's in a different guise. You know, Germans, you could like wear all black so I could tell, you know, like, difference between my guys and you. Hey dude, I'm gonna smack you in the face. It's like, why not just shoot people when you can go melee? Melee just looks so much more awesome, right? This is from the era when Bloom was like the greatest thing ever. Are you sure it's a clip? Are you sure? It better be. Yeah, but the effing mag is basically a BAR. It still uses the same action, and instead of it being fed by the detachable magazines, it's instead Give me that sweet. Oh crap! Smack him! Smack him! But yeah, instead of being fed by detachable box magazines, it instead uses a belt, and it's just kind of crazy to think the BAR survived that long. And the fact that it's still with us today. The FN Mag is also referred to as the M240 as well. And the MG42 still endures as the MG3. Yet sadly the MP40 has long since died. If only the NFA could be repealed, so like you could get like a modernized MP40 with like a Picatinny rail. And they didn't cost $30,000 and many thousands of dollars per magazine. 2013, just after Ghosts. World War II campaign was too Hollywoodish. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Let's see. No letting guns be sold to criminals. Well, I'm not surprised. That's Chicago for you. See, the big thing about the whole gun control debate is one thing that kind of falls on its face today, if only because they actually keep letting criminals out.
There's an anti-tank gun up the road keeping our tanks from moving up, so we gotta take it out. We'll split up and flank. Half the squad will go left, then through that house and up the riverbed. Other half will move over that wall and continue up the ridge. Got it? Nichols, you're on point.
I better be. I'm the hero of this game. I can't open my own doors, but I can shoot people so long as the plot lets me. Come on, shoot the bastard! Actually hitting anything in this game is not the easiest prospect. Let's see. On the FN Scar, it's a bit overpriced for what it is, and you'd be better off with just an AR-10 for a fraction of the price. The FN Scar is, in many cases, it's a gun for gun guys more than anything else. Because, like, and it's also a money sink on top of that. Because, like, to get the FN Scar to be as good as, say, an AR-10, you gotta, like, get a new trigger for it. You gotta get, like, a magazine conversion so it actually uses good magazines. All kinds of crap like that. And so it's like, it's a gun that will cost as much as a small car before you even start adding in all the modifications and crap like that. Surely red dots existed back then. Okay, let's actually try. See, like, these outdoor engagements aren't bad, but it is kind of hard to see where, like, the enemy is, because, like, the camouflage actually works, which is great for authenticity. Really, did my AI companion seriously not shoot that one guy? He was in front of you! What were you doing there? What are you do? Okay, at least Guzzo was able to do something. Looks like he was just randomly It took both of you to shoot one guy? My god, my squad sucks. I mean, I guess I can't complain too much, but still. This definitely needs to get a PC release. That way maybe they can make the graphics a little less muddy. Now wait a minute. They were able to do rain in COD 3, but they couldn't do rain? Oh man. FG42. I will say this. There was one time when I got a Valentine's Day card with an FG42 on it. No joke. Greatest Valentine's Day ever.
Follow me.
Let's see. Oh, in a Springfield 1903. Well, I mean, if you can hit, a bolt action is not that worthless. And I personally have an M1 Garand and Carbine, both of which are absolutely excellent. It's Tree Hinge. This is not my favorite grenade mechanic, where like you have to hold it down before you can actually throw it more than 2 feet. I love how we got like the one FG42 in like all of France. And it's like the greatest. You know, dude, we're oh crap. Whoa! Nichols is strong. He just fucking threw that guy. Let's see here. MP40 still in the Middle East. Well, that's to be expected. They're pretty bad games after 2013. Bit of enjoyment out of 103, but sold it. Well, that's sad. You're not giving. You don't get that CG44 until later. That's not fun. See, that's one thing that's always kind of interesting, though. It's like you'd have fewer people die, but if just one death is bad, then would it matter? Then one would be too many, though. Let's see. Title of the magazine. You can actually buy an FG42 reproduction these days. $5 grand. I would actually pay $5 grand for one of these if I ever got rich, because they're extremely well made. They use a ZB27 magazine, which I'm sure is oh so common, but whatever. And they're not full auto; they're just semi, which is to be expected because we need to repeal the NFA. Blind fire, that's not fair. I'm like only half paying attention to the plot. More killing power than any gun. And yeah, they do. And so do bombs. It's like you could have banned like basic chemicals and things of that nature. And then of course you could always, if you had really motivated terrorists, they could always make some PJ Ludi submachine guns. Those things are still dangerous. And that just requires knowledge of math and basic materials from a hardware store. That's what, and besides, it still doesn't matter. You can ban all you want, you can pass every law you want, and that is some nice water. Harper, you probably should have ran straight at the explosion. I'm just saying. It's like, these are all giant open battlefields. I love it. I mean, this is something you'd have seen on a PC of the day. Crap, just hide! Hide me! And see, like, these are the days before, like, all the major swearing that you would see in games. Now, I don't really have a problem with swearing, but it's gotten to the point where the novelty, for me at least, is worn off. It's like, kick some ass doesn't sound bad, but it's like, all the fucks and shits just get kind of old after a while. I mean, swearing is something that obviously people do, but in video games and movies, it honestly sounds like a bunch of middle schoolers that just learned how to say the word fuck, you know? It doesn't really add anything. Now, here's an interesting concept that I've debated with a few people. Should superheroes swear? It's like, should Batman, and Batman has said it, should Batman say the word fuck? He says that to the Jared Leto Joker in the Snyder Cut, and I will fucking kill you. That's fine, but just in conversation. Would you really want to hear Superman go like, man, I had a bird hit me in the fucking face? Would you really want to hear that, though? It's like, when you think about it, superheroes are supposed to be the best of us. Or at least they should be. You know, so would we want him to sound, you know, like somebody who just learned that swears exist? It's one of those other issues of, like, with superheroes. Does the dark superhero really have a place in the modern-day comics? Now, modern-day comics are crap in and of themselves, but, like, did having superheroes become kind of evil for a little while? Did that actually... Ooh, did I get him? No, I didn't. Come on, shoot him with that bloody 8mm Mauser. How many you want to die per shooting, I guess? One is a tragedy and probably not easily preventable. Actually, here's the thing, though. With the way people are punished these days, you know, and also with the way the government functions as well, the FBI generally knows who's going to commit some of these crimes and does nothing to stop it, because it's like, well, could this guy do it? Could another guy do it? It's like, there's ultimately, unless the laws are actually enforced, you can pass all you want, but unless you enforce them, they don't really do much good.
Hang on. Let me think.
Run for cover. I don't have a sprint. All I can do is just kind of shuffle around.
That Panzer's got a 0.
Damn you, Panzer IV. Did I die, or am I just get knocked out? Yeah, I got knocked out again.
Sorry ass around, Nichols. Come on, let's go. Fall back! Fall back!
Psychic Mario, you're alive. Just curious. Driver. And hello, Devon. And
Support now,
we survive.
we need support here. Say it
Message
again.
retracted.
We need support.
Had intense language. That was in 2000. Yeah, but Manhunt was designed to be sort of like this shock kind of game.
It's a friendly! It's a friendly! Thank you, Jesus!
Legalize marijuana. Oh, wow. And life is indeed life. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But there's actually something that goes along with that, I realize. What doesn't kill you can potentially make you smarter. You can avoid making the same mistakes again. And so that's one of the great aspects of getting older, to a certain extent, is you learn what not to do. And that's kind of one of the great aspects of what's transpired over the last few years. Is I've taken all of that knowledge that I've gained the hard way, and so I'm fucking up a lot. God damn it! I'm fucking up a lot less as I die, but whatever. I didn't say that applied to video games, now did I? There's a scoped FG42. Ooh. But yeah, you gotta learn what not to do in life, you know? And thankfully, I have done that to a mate. God damn it! Fucking Germans. Yeah, they learned what not to do. They decided to conquer via, economics instead of shooting people in the face. I really like this FG42. Because just look at that model. Look at that. It's beautiful. I want an FG42. See, the great aspect of 2022... I keep thinking it's 2023 for some reason. The great aspect of 2022 is just the fact that if I wanted to spend a ridiculous amount of money on an FG42, I could. Whereas in the past, there was no way I could even consider that. That's not saying I would do it, but I could do it. But, yeah. I would actually rather buy an FG42 over a SCAR. And I bet when all is said and done, when you count the magazines and the ammo, you'd probably end up spending about as much for a SCAR Heavy as you would one of these FG42s. Even with the scope. Now, from what I recall, the scopes on these rifles, and thank you, Akbar fan, because I did not know this was up here. The only problem is the real FG42 apparently had zeroing issues. That actually does remind me. The Russian AK-12, the new AK that the Russians are using, apparently has zeroing issues as well. Oh my god, look at the water flowing. It's beautiful. It just seems to kind of disappear when it hits the ground, but it's there. And, I thought are you floating in the air? I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Okay, I guess I gotta stay up here, I guess. Dog sign. Doesn't pet the dog. Doesn't walk in complete darkness. Ouch. That's not fun. Let's see here. Scoped injury. That's what they probably would have done in 1914. Yeah, pretty much. Bolt carrier groups. Oh, nice. The BCG. I'd recommend a nickel boron, because evidently they're supposed to have greater longevity. But yeah, banning guns and stuff like that, or restricting guns, or making it difficult, that doesn't actually help unless you keep criminals in jail! I mean, if you literally let a potential political assassin go out of jail the same day, that doesn't really work, now does it? And yes, that did happen. There was some psycho that shot at some politician, or a politician running for office, and it got out the same day. So all the laws don't help unless you actually keep them in jail. Okay, don't I know? Wait a minute, do I get out this way? Can I get out of here? The answer is no. Am I like trapped here or something? No, I am not, but that's still just kind of weird. Like, you would think that would like let you out, but whatever. P90, the PS90 is still in production. It outlasted the FS2000, which I'm surprised it did, considering how expensive that bloody rifle was and how much the ammo was. Actually, I want to look at the God rays. Okay, now where the hell am I supposed to go here? It's gonna be one of those games today, isn't it? Okay, there's that. Okay, it's something in the house. Did I need to pick something up? Did I need to shoot something? I hear everybody screaming. Did I mean I actually have to pay attention? Okay, it's the only problem with the whole invisible wall thing is it just wants you to go in one specific place. Unless I'm supposed to shoot the guy talking. Oh, shut up. Nobody wants to hear you talk. Okay, what's the objectives here? Flank the Axis forces. So, okay, that's it. I hate objectives like that. He's like, okay, am I supposed to be where that tank is? But he didn't let me go that way? Icaboron. Nice. Getting a Maverick 88. Go back to the attic. And now I'm like stuck in the wall. Okay, so I smash that out. Okay, there you go. I hate it when games do that. It's like, can you destroy that? Or is it, you know? Like, how was I supposed to know you can destroy that? And, oh, Panzerfaust. I might have kept, I probably should have kept the, probably should have kept, god damn it. Run, run! Nope, I probably should have kept the iron sights. Out the wall. I didn't know the Eisenhorn books were out of print. Moss 500. Yeah, the only problem with the Moss 500 is just the fact you only get a 5-shot tube. See, maybe instead of charging ahead, I should actually try to aim. You never see in any of these World War II games the M1 carbine, which would really be a good gun for this particular game, because we're doing a lot of close-in stuff. Oh, that's actually a friendly. Stop getting in front of my shots, you assholes. Actually has much better recoil than 8mm Mauser, and it has 15-round mags. I think game developers, when they learn that the M1 carbine exists, just have to nerf that because it really was that good of a gun for World War II and today. Yeah, the whole smoke bomb thing is definitely a COD 2 thing. They really like that. Hey, MG42, dude. Yeah, these grenades just don't work. That's the thing I love about Halo 2's grenades. You just hit the button, and you chuck the grenade. It goes a decent distance, and actually does damage when it gets there. And this game's grenade mechanic just does not work. And yeah, Area 51 was pretty damn good. That is one of those games that did not get the recognition it deserves. Did I get blown up again? Nichols must, be pretty tough to get blown up by everything in fucking World War II. Get back from lean around corners.
Take cover!
Do an ejection rather than riveted one. Trying to reach to the... Actually, I've kind of gotten out of 40k for a while just because the last couple books have not been that great. I recently read the entirety of the Grim Noir trilogy, which is basically an alternate 1930s but with magic. And I have to say, the first book, excellent. The second book, it kind of drug a little bit. And the third book was, holy crap, it was definitely a proper trilogy. And I will be taking that scoped carabiner. Ooh, I like the sound effect on this thing. If I was going to buy a machine gun, it would definitely be an MG42. Because that has got to be one of the meanest sounding machine guns of like all time. Can any of you hit anything? He's right there! See, how hard was that? He was lit. But then again, he's using a Thompson, and those things were not known for their accuracy. Thoughts on Kevin J. Anderson Star Wars books? They're pretty good. When they first came out, they were compared unfavorably to Timothy Zahn's work. But the thing about the Kevin J. Anderson books is just the fact that he's trying to have a more classical science fiction tone to them versus the then more modern military science fiction sort of thing. And I think it works. It's like 100% realism just isn't fun. I mean, all the things that we love about Star Wars, if we went for 100% realism, just wouldn't work. I think one of our guys got blasted. No, I didn't. Blast him. It pulls to the... Seriously? Okay, the hitboxes are seriously not very good on in this game. That's gotta be a glitch, because I just shoot... I guess he ran out of blanks, because now he's just kind of like miming that he, That's kind of sad. But I will point out that is one nice detail where one of his eyes is closed. Hey, dude. You will die for your... glitch. Oh, crap. No! Ah! Death Core of the Krieg. Pretty good. Then on Discord.
Get the Jerry out of here so our boys can move in.
And Huxley, seriously, get a helmet! See, it doesn't matter where I'm at. I'm gonna get knocked out no matter what.
Germans in the open! Over to the west!
Yeah, I think this game falls into the same kind of category as some other games from around this time in that it's kind of hard to tell where to go because everything does look a bit muddy and the enemies are a little hard to pick up. I think this would definitely do for a very good remastering, or at least to be able to see a little bit better. Although I hope the remastering is better than the Master Chief Collection because good God is that buggy. Like, I literally paused the game, went away for like an hour, came back, game had crashed in a pause screen. It's like, what the hell? How does the game crash in the pause screen? It's like, come on, people. And yeah, the Jedi Academy trilogy, a lot better than some people give it credit for. It's a pretty epic story. That does it. And unfortunately, at the time, people were like, oh, it's so stupid, the Sun Crusher and Kipteron, you just kind of got away with killing a few billion people. It's like, well, if you actually read the story, it's not quite like that. Now, that is not to detract from I, Jedi, which is, in my opinion, the best Star Wars book of all time, but I might be a bit biased about that just because, well, it's Jedi Batman. Now, the one problem with I, Jedi today, and it's more as sort of a reaction to what has happened to heroism in general. In I, Jedi, Luke Skywalker gets his ass kicked by Corran Horn, which was cool back then. But with what they did to poor Skywalker, you know, turning him into Jake Skywalker, you know, the crazy homeless man, it's like, it's a little harder to read now. Oh, crap. And then, of course, you had... Dude, you should have moved. He's got the high ground. Like, a lot of our heroes are starting to get really seriously destroyed. Like, Master Chef. What they did to poor Master Chef. Man, it's like, with Halo the TV series, it would have not been a bad series if it wasn't called Halo. Like, the expectation for it to, you know, be good kind of drags it down. Because the character of Master Chief in that show is not... It's not Master Chief. I just kind of look at Halo the TV show as sort of like... It's sort of like its own science fiction show and not Halo. So instead of it being Master Chief, I just see him as like the lieutenant. A bit more appreciation. What's the vlog of the Republic Commando? Hey, the Republic Commando lady, aka Karen Travis, did a damn good job, except for killing off Mara Jade. And you're not too late, Turok Fire Seed. Let's see. Must be a piece of the version of the MCC. Monochromatic. I really liked Karen Travis. She was one of the reasons why I kept reading Star Wars for as long as I did. And yeah, an original Spartan character would work. And if they actually get a second season, which they may, they just gotta get rid of Quan Ha. I mean, she is absolutely worthless. She adds absolutely nothing at all to the show. I mean... She wants to do a revolution with no people. You kind of have to have a revolution with people, weapons, leadership, other than screaming at people doesn't exactly create, you know, anything, but whatever. But seriously, Master Cheeks that is a valid thing to call him, you know, because like it is certainly not the Master Chief that we know. It's like, oh, it's an alternate... The alternate reality excuse really annoys me. It's like, oh, it's an alternate timeline, so therefore that makes it good. No, it doesn't. Your alternate timeline sucks. It's like, if your alternate timeline is worse than the regular timeline, it's like, you kind of failed. Blast it. Oh, come on, kill that guy. You know, Nichols, if you actually, you know... I love how finally somebody else shot him. I know that she probably did divide the fandom because people didn't really like the Mandalorians, but if you loved the Mandalorians and it's like, well, it didn't divide me. Because I loved Republic Commando and I love the Mandalorians because that's the exact kind of character that I like. You know, the noble warrior hero kind of guy. I mean, I guess, like, if your diet consists mainly of soy, you might not like them, but... Or might not like them, but, well... I'm not a big fan of soy, so, I was quite fond of them. It's a shame what happened to Boba Fett in Book of Boba Fett, though. Although he didn't get it nearly as bad as he might have. That's the thing. Book of Boba Fett, while not great... could have been worse. They could have Jake Skywalker'd him. And they kind of did to a certain extent, but still. He still got to have some dignity. Oh, crap. Yeah, her Halo work annoyed me, as did the Gears of War, but the old Star Wars stuff was not that bad. In fact, it was really, really good. But the Halo stuff was where the hatred for Dr. Halsey started up. Although I'm not sure if that was her or if that was 343. Because before 343, Dr. Halsey was sort of like seen as morally ambiguous, but ultimately she was in the right for creating the Spartans because without them, humanity would have literally gone extinct. And my thought is this. Okay, Unit 731. They actually appear as a villain in the Grim Noir series, but Unit 731... they actually got away with horrible human rights violations back during World War II because the American government decided to take their medical research. Dr. Halsey literally helped save all of humanity. I don't think she's going to be hated all that much. People are like, well, you know, she did kidnap those kids, but those kids also made it so that every human being is still alive, so yeah. I'm just not buying that everybody would hate her. It's like, how could you do that? You would be dead if not for her. And speaking of Halo, I did finally watch all of Halo 5. One of those video game movie kind of things. They've got the high ground, we're screwed. One of those video game movie kind of things. I can see where Halo the TV series came from. Because you see a lot of what you see in Halo the TV series in Halo 5. Yeah, it would have been nice to see more of Delta Squad. Believe me, gaming YouTube channels.
We did our job, let them do theirs. I just want to sit back and watch the view.
Novel. $10 now. Oh my god. That's true.
Doyle, you listening to me, Doyle? So, as I was saying, only two things the Frenchies are any good at. Surrendering and kissing.
I'm not sure if that's really a contemporary opinion that guy would have.
How are you, BT? Skiving as usual.
Get stuffed, you fat Scottish twig!
I'm fair popular around here. You can probably tell.
Keith, give Wilkins a hand, would you? Boy can't tell his ass from his elbow. Damn good to see you again.
Wilkins, you blasted idiot. What are you doing, my friend?
Little present for the Bosch. We call her Vera. Her twin over there is Lynn. It's the usual deal. Pre-dawn insertion. Our man on the ground is a Marquis named LaRoche.
Pre-dawn insertion, I like the sound of that.
He'll take us to meet up with the French resistance. An oxymoron if ever there was one, but they're all we have. We're wheels up in an hour, so grab your kit and load in.
Strap yourselves in, boys. We're almost at the jump point.
Incoming! Taking fire! I can't hold us, sir! We have to drop now!
We'll give it all she's got. I had to do it. I actually have a model of that bomber. It's a pretty neat design, although I'd hate to have to do that in the daylight. I did not know he was in the United Offensive. Let's see. Okay. As soon as we get through the cutscene, I'll answer some of the questions there. And believe me, Greg Hark, I'm well aware of how old I am. 33? I remember when I was just like 25. It doesn't seem that long ago to me.
Hans, wir haben hier noch einen.
Oh, you have no head. Look at the boots. They actually have like the nails in the boots. 2006.
Je m'appelle Pierre Laroche. Welcome to France, mon ami.
Very unfortunate name. I want a Stin. It's not enough to pay for it. Okay, what's my favorite Halo novel? Favorite Halo novel is going to be Fall of Reach. Even if it wasn't a tie-in to a media franchise, it was still a damn good book. Sadly, most of what was seen in the Fall of Reach novel is long since non-canon. And I've been doing this since 2009. Never really broke out into like super popularity, but considering what has happened to people who have become super popular, I actually have to say that's probably a good thing. I can still enjoy actually making videos versus being worried about getting canceled. And as for gaming YouTube channels, I don't watch as much gaming content as I used to, mainly because most of it I just am not really into, unfortunately. Like, my favorite YouTubers have long since either been canceled or have gone insane. Like, the Spoony one was somebody I used to watch religiously. But he went insane like 8 years ago. And I still watch some of his stuff from time to time. And they even animated it. Oh, I thought that just killed him. I just smacked him in the back, just dead. Halo 5. The gameplay didn't look that awful. No price. Operation Morgan Gun. 28 in a month. Oh my god. Welcome to this. Full Reach. First Strike is my second favorite. But yeah, just recently, I started rewatching some of the AVGN stuff. The early AVGN stuff. See, this is where you can start to really feel old. I was 18 in 2007. So, that was sort of like a very formative time when the internet finally started to become something more than just like BBSs and shit. The first time I ever watched YouTube was in 2007, although it was to rewatch old episodes of the X-Men animated series. And they could only be uploaded in 10-minute chunks back in those days. I ultimately decided to do YouTube as just sort of a, well, like today, just a hobby. I wanted something to do, and that was that. And I just kept up with it because I think it's fun. See, like, when you get super popular, you gotta make sure you're marketable. That way you can hawk, like, you can become a Scottish lord if you own just 1 square inch of the land. It's like, I'd hate to have to try to sell that. That is, like, the worst shit ever. Like, I would feel very bad about myself if I had to sell the Scottish lord land. You know? Like, I wouldn't have that big a problem selling Raid Shadow Legends. At least that's a thing. At least that has some merit. It's a game. It's not a very good one. Of course, then again, I'd hate to have to be one of those people that's like, I played Raid Shadow Legends all the time. It's the greatest game of all time. But then again, I've heard some YouTubers talk about how, like, you get like a couple grand if they hawk Raid Shadow Legends. I'd hawk it for a couple grand. I mean, like, look, here's my thing. If you actually look up Raid Shadow Legends in, like, the various app stores, you'll know it's just a means of making money for the developers. So I just assume my fans are smart enough to know that Raid Shadow Legends is something not be played. AMT Hardballer. Nice. Just turned 25. How do you feel old at 25? Try turning 30. It's not even a matter of, like, physical age. It's like we have no cover at all. It's like we've got a fence made of wood, but, like, turning 30 is not so much physical age for me, just because I've kept myself in good shape, but it's like you realize that it was 20 years ago when you did something. The only problem I have is, like, I need something better than these horrible sights. What are you looking at me for? He must be working that bolt pretty fast. Or he might be using... Oh, god damn it. Really? Again? Contact Harvest wasn't a bad book, but I hated it because they retconned the Brutes from being this new villainous race into being always there since the very beginning. Because the Brutes weren't introduced until Halo First Strike, and they were like this new deadly threat, you know? And that was cool. It's like, now an enemy that can, like, it's like the equal to Master Chief. Because, like, Master Chief and a Brute fight in First Strike, and Chief almost loses. Like, he almost loses to that guy. And then, all of a sudden, with Contact Harvest, it's like, oh, they've always been there. It's like, wait. And, like, Cortana in First Strike is like, well, we've never seen them before, so they can't be that tough. Well, surprise. I just realized I could probably throw a smoke grenade. I blame the chat. Oh yeah, the stupid manscaping. Oh god, yeah, don't remind me of that stupid bullshit. I'll be honest, I would not sell the Scottish land, nor would I sell the manscaping. Because all I can say is I'm not getting anything sharp near my Tinder bits. Just saying. I killed myself with that grenade. There's a point I could ever pick of ads like Dr. Pepper or Gatorade. Raid is better than Halo Wars. I've never actually played Halo Wars outside the first one. The video game is older games. And yeah, a lot of newer games just are kind of boring to hear people talk about. There's one term that I hate more than anything else, and that's gameplay loop. There's just something about gameplay loop just kind of ruins the mystique of games. It's like, the core gameplay loop is blah 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 blah. It's like, oh god, just no. 36. Well, you're older than me, and that's kind of hard to do, but only by 3 years. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. I blame the chat. When in doubt, blame the chat. Shit. Stop shooting at me. I'm just gonna hide behind the logs, even though this would actually be worthless in real life. I'm just gonna sneak through this very uniform smoke. Surely they will never see me. Shit. Thankfully, they're all blind. And I can phase through a chair. This is a game you actually have to pay attention to. Oh, come on, I totally got that guy. But see, you'll really feel old when there's people who are just now turning 18. Stuff like that, you know? Or when you know people who have kids who are your same age who have teenagers. Or people like relatives who you knew when they were like 12 years old, but now they've graduated college and have like careers. That's when you start to really feel old. But really, you are only as old as you feel. I mean, that's one of those things where so long as you actually, did I really just phase through that? Oh, way to go, Corporal Keith. Wow, that guy's a badass. And he's got that Bren gun. I want a Bren gun, I just don't want to have to pay for it. Yeah, manscaping. And the way the various, you know, YouTube sellers talk about it, it's like, oh god, are you people like still teenagers? I'm just saying. Lewis guns. Wow, that Lewis gun looks like shit. The Jeep looks great, but my god, that...
So now Vera here and Frenchie can take us to the Maquis base.
Don't call me Frenchie.
Whatever you say, Frenchie.
Can I drive? Oh, I can't just go to the seat.
It's a skinny pedal on the right, Doyle.
Hey, screw you. Yeah, this is Treyarch. Treyarch actually lets you drive. Whereas Infinity Ward most assuredly did not. I don't think that would actually happen no matter how powerful the Jeep might or might not be. There's actually some YouTube channels that I watch now that talk about vehicles and stuff like that. And I forget what the name of the channel is, but there's actually a whole channel devoted to the Jeep. And all I gotta say is, old cars sound great, but I would hate to have to maintain one of these things. Because holy crap. Oh crap, no! How do I back up? There we go, we'll go full third person on this one. Oh my god, that camera is trying to give me, motion sickness. But yeah, the Jeep. It's like the sheer amount of crap that goes into that thing. I don't think I could smash through a tank trap in a Jeep. I can hit the trees if I want to. We got a bumper. That's what it's for. Okay, I'm sweating. I'm gonna blame the chat again. And see, like, the best part about this is you actually have to pay attention. There's just not there's no giant glowing arrow saying turn here, turn there. It's like that was kind of a lame jump. That's like a Battlefield 1942 jump where you just kind of like go 2 inches and explode. Yeah, this definitely needs a PC port because, like, this game is so unsung. This is a Jeep. What do you think it has? Nitrous oxide? But if you've never seen AVGN before, watch the Spider-Man episode. Imagine if I smashed into that guy. And I've never played any of the Black Ops games.
Nice to see you too, lady.
Dufontaine. Isabelle Dufontaine.
I don't care if you're the friggin' Queen of France. Where's the major?
Mais qui est cet imbécile? Your major.
52, oh my god.
And we lost contact with one of our men as well, Marcel Lamond.
Que lui est-il arrivé? What happened to him?
He went missing while doing reconnaissance near the German air defense.
You mean those Bosch bastards who shot us out of the sky? Sounds like payback time, eh, Doyle? We'll help you get your man back.
Someone should stay at the rendezvous point in case Major Ingram arrives.
Thanks for volunteering, Frenchie.
Here is the situation. The German gunners are using a manor house as their barracks straight up that way. The flak gun is to the right. Allons-y. Doyle, lead on.
I like how she's in shorts just so she can look a bit sexy. It's beautiful. Let's see here. Mandate by EA. Power Guido? Guido? Okay. And there's something about a controversy that I missed while I was trying to not get blown up by the crowds. Something about a Beretta. I don't know, I don't really follow all the controversies. I couldn't escape that stupid slapping one, with the best meme video, of course, being the Street Fighter 2 intro. Here's a scary thing. Street Fighter 2 was 1992. 30 years ago.
Come on, lad, I'll give you a hand.
Thank you, Scottish dude. See, that's like perfectly good QTE. Come on. I'm gonna make you eat that Mauser. They could have had a little better sound effects for that because it just sounded kind of weak. Just sounded a little weak. Really? Don't tell me to find cover. I know how to take fucking cover. See, that's the sad part about being young now, though, because you missed out on a lot of good stuff. Like, when COD was new and people were still trying to find their way, now you just get the same old corporate regurgitated shit. Before the dark times. Probably shouldn't jump on the fire. Despite what, Metallica might say. Bomb was memorable. Ants and cherry bombs and plastic helicopters. Start commission. A pink Beretta. Oh, man. Oh, man. A pink Beretta. You know, I remember back around 2004, because yes, I'm old, when I think it was Ruger started making like pink stocks for the 1022. It's like, oh god. It's like, why? But I guess there are some people who like pink stocks for whatever reason. And that was around the time the female market was really starting to grow, but I can't imagine chicks would really want, you know, like a pink gun. Of course, one of the grifts that started to become popular a few years ago, more like 8 years ago, but whatever, relatively recently, is the you need to get special liability insurance for concealed carry. Where these lawyers will get up there and say, like, you're gonna go to jail no matter what. It's like, well, that's not entirely accurate. And then, like, if you have a gun that's pink, you might go to jail because they think X number of things. You actually look it up, though. You know, like the 10mm thing. There was a guy who defended himself with a 10mm, and he went to jail because of that. Well, the DA was, of course, about as corrupt as that asshole in, I think it was Kenosha. And then on top of that, the guy had a story that changed quite a bit. The 10mm guy, and then he eventually got out of jail once they realized the evidence hadn't been handled properly, and so some of the stuff that is said is not entirely accurate. Let's see, Browningham 2. Yep, still alive. PS2 generation. A lot of games were actually good. Yeah, because people cared. Trying to... Because the person with ammo had a really aggressive sounding name. Oh yeah! Black Talons! Those actually got banned because the name sounded so mean. And then they just renamed it to something else and I still sell it. Okay, yeah, you gotta just land right there. I think there's a little bit of lag in this game. Just a little. It took 2 of you to shoot that one guy? Really? Oh my god, I'm getting everybody. Okay. Still as red as flashy though. Pink pistol. Humiliation. Yeah. Or a pink rifle. Because there are pink ARs now. Because, of course there are. But yeah, the whole gun control thing, as I've said, just it doesn't work unless you actually put criminals in, well, jail and keep them there. There's a lot of videos you can find of just the massive shoplifting in the U.S., specifically in, shall we say, more blue cities and states, where they will literally just load up entire cars full of stolen merchandise because you can't actually... I don't think you can arrest people unless they steal like $1,000 worth of stuff. So they steal like $899 worth of stuff. It's ridiculous. Oh yeah, Binger. He looked like a Binger. Yeah, Halo Infinite, I keep trying to finish that game, but it just gets kind of boring after a while. The grunts, though. The grunts with their witty dialogue are just so cringy. I mean, it's like, why, I ask you? Why? Just make them sound like aliens. The biggest problem with Halo 2, and I'm going to be streaming Halo 2 after this game, is it started the trend of humanizing the aliens. One of the great aspects of Halo 1 and the early Halo books, all 3 of them, where the aliens actually felt scary. Like, you didn't know what they wanted. You didn't know what they were doing. And you didn't know why they wanted to kill all humans. And then Halo 2, literally in the first 5 minutes, it's like, oh yeah, here's all the prophets. Here's the exact reason why they're killing everyone. And it's... I just think that took some of the mystery and mystique away from the Halo universe. It made everything a lot less scary when you actually knew about it. Now, see, here's the thing. If they'd actually showed more of the hierarchy with the Covenant through Halo 2 gradually, then I think that would have worked a lot better. And I still will say they should have gotten rid of the Arbiter. I think the Arbiter was somebody's good idea that, to me, just failed. It's like, the Arbiter, this new character that nobody gives a fuck about, at least I didn't give a fuck about, he's gonna get an actual ending for his campaign, but Chief is not? Why? Why, I ask you? That would have probably blown up and killed all of us, but whatever. We're lucky that this is a video game, but it's like, I'm gonna complain a lot about Halo 2. I mean, it's not a terrible game. I just have a lot of problems with it. Ironically, though, in 2004 when it first came out, it was a bit of a consensus that the campaign was terrible. And now it's kind of been vindicated by history. Let's see. Alright, see you, Akbar fan. The PS2 Xbox generation. Build off the PS4. I don't even know what would be it. I don't even know really what's on shit PS4 to even play other than oh, what the hell's that game? Bloodborne, there we go. Oh crap, no, there's a grenade! Ugh. Other than Bloodborne. And speaking of Souls games, I still haven't played much of Elden Ring. That's one of the other minor issues of getting old, is you just don't have time to actually play any games anymore. Especially if you want to have a, you know, social life. Okay, I guess we need to go around, because we can't smash through those boxes, or maybe we can shoot through them, though. Now I'm curious. And yeah, California. It's like... It's one of those things of what you reap is what you sow. Massive taxation. Thankfully, one law they wanted to pass was where, I forgot I can jump. Actually, there's an invisible wall, so I can't get over there. Oh, come on, shoot him! He's right there! Ah, fuck it. Let's see, read the whole Covenant hierarchy. Need to go back and blow up the guns. Oh, oops. You know, I never played SOCOM. I've always kind of wanted to play SOCOM, but I imagine the multiplayer servers have like long. Oh, and I have to like. Oh, I thought I already blew them up. By hitting the red barrel. Oh, come on, Treyarch. Now you're just, you know. Now you're just showing off. Let's see. What's this Celestial? And yeah, Smash Bros. Although I've not played a Smash Bros game in many years. The big issue with Halo Infinite, though, is just it wants to be serious, but it's so goofy, even I can't pay attention to the story half the time. Just like, normally I'd like to get all the audio logs, but the audio logs are just such derivative comic book shit, I don't even really care. And it's basically just human dies, or a brute goes gnap gnap rarg, you know? That was also a YouTuber I used to watch, Zero Punctuation. Originally from Australia, and then moved to California for whatever reason. I guess he liked the high taxes. Oh crap. I blame the chat! I think our guys really need to get a little bit more training. Just saying. Her sexy shorts do not make her into a very good fighter. I'm just gotta say. That's one of those aspects of the past being sort of a undiscovered country, so to speak. You have to consider that air conditioning did not exist in the way that we think of it, in 1944 here. It's like the idea of having a central AC unit would have been the fevered dream of a madman. And I am so glad I didn't live back then, because trying to survive without AC is almost as bad as getting shot at. Okay, well, maybe I might be exaggerating a little. Grenade, grenade! Zero punctuation. Spirit of the franchise, not a good sign. I think the biggest issue with 343 is they're turning Halo from a military science fiction franchise into sort of like a hard science fiction sort of thing. It wasn't I don't think it was 343 that actually did it, though. I think Bungie really started going in that direction with the Forerunner books. It's like, do we really need to know the history of the Forerunners. Once again, a little mystery isn't bad. Especially when, realistically, they shouldn't be playing that big of a role in the plot anyway. It's like the whole Born Stellar makes eternal lasting guy. I just don't really think we needed to read that. And also, the Forerunner trilogy was just horribly dull. At least it was to me. It's like, is there going to be, you know, like, military science fiction action here somewhere? Or is it just going to be this really weird... I never was a fan of hard science fiction anyway. What law? I don't know. I mean, if it was that shoplifting thing, shoplifting is... The penalties for that have been lowered tremendously over the years. To where, like, it's some absurdly high amount of money that has to be stolen before the police will actually do anything.
Rally points the courtyard.
Rendezvous in front of the courtyard.
Oh, but she went inside of that guy. Wait, no. This is weird. Treasure ice. Yeah, that actually had actual ice in the box. Gun law. I don't know. I think the only thing I mentioned was that, like, there's some, like, gun insurance people that were talking about how, like, if you had a purple gun or something, you could get a higher penalty. And how I don't think that's true, but... Surprise! Not that you'd really want a trench gun when you could get something that's, you know, full auto.
We'll rendezvous back at the Mackie base.
Doyle, you're driving again.
And I may stream Turok 08, I just can't get it to work. So, if ever I can get that game to work...
The boss are right behind us. Tank coming up our arse.
Big issue with Turok 08 is it is... Well, a game from 2008 and such, and as such, the
The base has been compromised.
run. And as such, the NVIDIA physics doesn't like to work right, and so everything renders all weird. Come on, run. We're reaching speeds of 40 miles an hour. You know, that reminds me of, you know, you're out driving, and, quick, we gotta get sick air! There goes the suspension. When you're out driving and you hear those assholes in those really, really loud sports cars, and it's always just kind of funny. Oh crap, we are so dead. Yep. And they got these really loud sports cars, right? Who are they really...
The boss are right behind us.
Who are they really, impressing anyway? It's like, it's gotta be as loud in those goddamn cars as it is outside of them. And half the time, they're literally reaching speeds of like 50 whole miles an hour. My cheap hatchback can do that without sounding obnoxious. I mean, like, a loud motorcycle, okay, because those things can actually go a legitimate speed, but like, people with those Ford Mustangs, the Ford Mustang, you know? I mean, the classic Mustang, pretty nice. Modern day Mustang, meh. Go, 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 go! It's a covered bridge.
Faster, Doyle. Please hold up, lassie. Lucky that bridge held.
Maybe we ought to drive instead of just waiting for the tank to get us. Oh crap, please don't tell me it crashed.
If it reloads...
Convenient.
Jolly good timing, Major.
Thank the quiet one there. And not just for that save. He also got the plans for the Bosch's fuel depot.
Or he's baiting the trap.
LaRoche trusts him.
That makes one of us.
Marcel is one of our most trusted men, Corporal.
That's not saying much.
You seem to like us well enough when we save your lives. Perhaps next time we won't be as charitable.
Besides, you insulted me by calling me a golf ball. How could you?
No one's offering you a medal to do your job, Hux. Now, you read up on those aircraft bombs?
Yeah.
Of course, what I hate is now every time I hear the name Hux, I can't help but think of that stupid character from that god-awful Rise of Skywalker movie.
Alright, listen up. Our job's to take the bridge as the convoy.
Yeah, those cars, like, ever since I was a kid, there were cars with those goddamn speakers blasting out like that. Ugh.
That's why Huxley here is going to disarm the bombs before the crowds can detonate them.
Whose brilliant plan was this?
General George S. Patton's. You got some kind of problem with him too?
Nope. So long as the orders aren't coming from McCullen.
Ain't no orders coming from him. Hell, he ain't said so much as a word for 2 days straight.
How about you worry less about the Sarge and more about those bombs, Hayseed?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're going to come back next week with some more Call of Duty 3. But until then, I got to say, this game is kind of surprised me. Like, I had vague recollections of when I first played it a few years ago, but this is definitely really good. The biggest issue with it is, though, that the graphics are kind of muddy, and so sometimes it's hard to actually see what you're aiming at. And there does appear to be a little teeny tiny bit of lag. But other than that, pretty good. So, in any event, I am GeneralLotz. Wish you good. COD 3, or whatever makes you happy.